Hi and welcome to City Update. I'm Sherry Kropp. Well, you may have recently received an invitation in the mail to fill out your 2020 census information. And if you've done that, great. My guest today is Nakia Smith. She's with the North Carolina Counts Coalition, and she's going to tell us why it is so important to fill out the 2020 census information. Nakia, tell us about the invitations that were mailed out to residents.
Okay, between March 12th and March 20th, invitations, and to some households, the actual census survey was mailed out. You may have received it, you may have not, because of all things COVID. Some of the mailings have gone a little slower, but you either received a paper form, a paper questionnaire that you can complete and fill out. The postage is free, or you received an invitation to complete it online. You may have also received a couple of those things, and we just ask that you do it, please.
And why is this information so important?
The census is important for people to fill out because it tells the government, based on how many people actually live in an area, whether it be demographic region, city, town, state, county, whatever. It tells the government how many people actually live there. So when we go to appropriate funds for the 55 state programs that the census does fund, they know how much money that actually is needed.
And it's important to count everyone in your household, whether it's an infant up to your 90-year-old grandparent who may be staying with you.
Absolutely. Please count everyone that lives in your household. So Census Day was April 1st, and that was just a landmark day. That was the day that, for example, we wanted you to survey your household and who was living with you. So if your elderly parent goes in between you and, say, another sibling in Florida, if they were with you on April 1st, then if they should have been with you because of COVID on April 1st, then please count them. The same goes for any other extended family that you may have that lives with you. The same goes for if you house international students. If they should have been with you on April 1st, then that's who you want to count. It's important to our military community because of PCSing. Where were you stationed on April 1st? And yes, you want to count everybody, from the babies to the elderly. You want to count everyone. For example, here in North Carolina, the census funds over 900,000 children just for Medicaid. So it's super important.
What type of information do residents need to provide?
The census is not going to ask any super sensitive information, so please be aware of that. The census will ask things like your name, date of birth, sex, race, per each resident in your household, and a phone number just to follow up. But the census will never ask you stuff like bank account information, your social security number, tax ID numbers, anything like that.
Nakia, talk about the various ways that people can submit their information.
You can complete your census through 3 ways. You can call in over the phone. Calling in over the phone also gives you the option, if English isn't your first language, you have the option to complete it in 12 other languages outside of English. The second way is the internet, which the same thing. You have the option, if English isn't your first language or your strong language, you have the option to complete it in 12 other languages. And the third way is to complete that mail-in form that you received at your home. If you lost your invitation or you don't have your ID number, that's absolutely fine. You can complete the census on the phone or online without an ID number.
If people would like to get more information about the 2020 census, where can they get that?
The company I work for, NC Counts Coalition, we have our own website. It's icountnc.org, and that's going to give you a little more people-friendly information. There's always the Census Bureau. They have their own information site, which is 2020census.gov. That's the information site. However, to complete the census, you want to go to my2020census.gov. There's also a telephone number that is available for questions and then available to complete the census.
Thank you, Nakia, for that great information. Be sure to fill out your 2020 census information. Thank you for watching the City Update. We'll see you next time.